And we are back. I'm Cams, and I'm here with Eric. We are the Channel 135 podcast, proudly brought to you by the WesWes Network, proudly brought to you by WesWesNet.com. How's it going, Mose?
Well, good, man. All nice and dry here.
Yeah, man, it's been cyclone Tim outside. Been teasing us lately, eh? Been on and off. I think on Saturday, Friday was pretty bad, eh?
Yeah.
It was windy and that. It wasn't too bad, but it was windy. But it was sunny early in the morning. Then it went cloudy skies again. So started raining.
Yeah, and it was pretty heavy. Just like probably a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So bad weather outside during the Easter long weekend. So we're recording this on Sunday, Easter Sunday. It's 8:25 p.m. And we're gonna talk about what we've been watching during the week and break down. Oh, we'll do a little thing where we break down each episode of the new season of Black Mirror, and we'll talk about the first episode, the first story. Common People, it was called, I think.
Yeah,
that's on Netflix. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then we'll get into our episode of the finale of Daredevil Born Again, episode 9. The finale hit Disney Plus last Wednesday. And yeah, man, this is our last episode of Daredevil until next season. We'll be looking forward to next season of Daredevil Born Again, which I think is going to be out next year, same time around Avengers Doomsday. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Sure,
but before we get into Black Mirror and Daredevil, we'll just talk about what we've been watching on TV streaming this week. I know you had a little dab into Electric State.
Yeah.
It wasn't really good, eh?
Nah, I mean, apart from the special effects and all, yeah, it wasn't that great, eh? I watched it with my daughter, and straight off the bat, she the relationship between the brother and the sister in this movie, she saw straight through it, eh? She just looked at it and was like questioning me, Dad, why is this movie like this? I said, what do you mean? He goes, they're telling lies. Brothers and sisters are not like that. And I was like, cracking up. So I think their interpretation of what a brother and sister is way out the gate. So it wasn't only that, there were some other things about the story that I thought was weak, but yeah. So
what's the story about? What's the general story?
So apparently the robots end up become intelligent, so intelligent that they think that they don't work for humans anymore. So they want their own kind of lives. So they end up rebelling against their bosses, and it causes that all-out war. But it looks like a different timeline, like not a different timeline, but in this Earth, because it happens during the 90s. I think it's placed during the 90s. So yeah, and all that war between the humans and the robots, and it's pretty bad. But yeah, that's pretty sums up the story, pretty much.
Yeah, it sounds like the characterization is pretty off track in the writing and stuff. I heard that there's a lot of bad reviews.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like the worst thing to come out of Netflix this year. Yep, opposite to what happened when they put out Adolescence. So
right yeah, next year, they have me show like that, and then they pull out this bullshit. I was like, oh. I didn't want to watch it in the first place, but I thought, I'll just give it a chance. And yeah, shouldn't have wasted my whole hour.
Wasted the hour, yeah. That's what we don't want to do. We watch too many things now that we don't want to waste anything. But no, man, I started 2 new series, or three new series. So I started YELLOWJACKETS, a series that's at season 3 at the moment. I never did start it when it first came out 2 years ago. But yeah, man, it's pretty out of it. It's one of those mystery box TV series, similar to Lost, and another one that I'm watching, Severance season 1. So it's funny because I saw a TED talk with J.J. Abrams. And if you don't know J.J. Abrams, he's a film producer and TV show producer. He's the guy that produced Lost and The Force Awakens, and he did Cloverfield. He's sort of come out with this thing with another guy. I forgot his name, but who also helped them produce Lost. But he sort of came up with a concept of TV shows called the mystery box, right? So what the mystery box is a storyline that's constant mystery that's supposed to keep you watching but not revealing anything at all. And what it does, it keeps up the mystery by adding more layers to the mystery, more layers, and you never get any answers, and you just keep going and going and going until the very end. So if you think of Lost and you think of how people were disappointed with the ending, it's like a mystery on top of a mystery and it never ends. That's an actual tactic, and it's called a mystery box. So that followed on with a whole heap of other mystery box shows, right? So if you think of how Lost was, now I never watched any Lost episodes, so I'm not sure, but I know what he's talking about because when you watch the series Severance, it never gives you any answers, but it just leads you. It just carries on with the mystery. So you're just watching just to find out shit, but instead of finding out the answer, you get more questions and more questions and more questions. They just keep piling up the questions, and you can't. You just want to know the answers, so you can't stop. You can't stop watching because you have to know what the answers are, right?
Holy shit.
And I think that's just a style. That's just a tactic. If you're into those sort of programs, and there's a lot of them now, you get stuck in that sort of series trap when you're just watching just because you just want to know what the answer is, right? So, okay, if you put that aside, if you pin that mystery box show, it's that kind of show. Lost is like that, right? Severance, if you start watching Severance, it's like that. YELLOWJACKETS is like that, right?
Oh.
And there's a few others. You can probably think of one yourself. If you're watching a series and you don't know what the answers are, but you're still watching it because you want to know the answers, then that is called the mystery box show. So it was interesting because if you watch that TED talk, J.J. Abrams, he has that concept. He sort of, I think he created that concept, and he sort of put it into his films, into his productions, and all that kind of stuff. So I think you can be frustrated by it because it's never ending. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, right? And it's different to what we talked about last week when we were comparing Walking Dead to The Last of Us, where the storyline in The Last of Us allowed us to know that there's hope, there's light at the end of the tunnel with a cure, right? As opposed to Walking Dead, where there's no cure and there's no light in the end of the tunnel, so it just carries on, right? So, yeah, it's an interesting concept. You probably love it or you probably hate it because you want to know the answers, and that's why I think a lot of people just like watching movies, because a movie is a story from start to finish, and that's it. Whereas a TV series could take 2 seasons, 3 seasons. The story keeps on going.
9 seasons.
You gotta keep on adding to it, and if you binge these shows, you sort of forget the finer details at the end of the binge because you watch so many hours of the show. You don't really tell which part came in which episode, what happened first, because there's so many stuff. As opposed to watching a movie when it's only an hour and a half or 2 hours, you get everything in that story arc, right? So yeah, I started watching YELLOWJACKETS, and it's a story about, it's sort of based on true story. You know that movie Alive with those rugby players, those Argentinian rugby players that crashed the plane in the mountains in the snow?
Yep.
And they had to survive by eating each other?
Yep, I can't forget that movie.
So it's similar to that. So they sort of got inspired by that story and put this story into YELLOWJACKETS. So YELLOWJACKETS is the name of their soccer team, a group of girls soccer team. They're called the YELLOWJACKETS, and they go on a plane to play at Seattle. But their plane crashes in the mountains, in the forest, and they have to survive. And there's a lot of it just cuts back and forth to, it's not in chronological order. So it shows the kids at their age in the 90s. Then it shows the kids when they're older as adults in 2021. So the story is cutting back and forth to the past into the present, if the present was then. And then it sort of backtracks to what happens when the plane crashes. So shit happens. I haven't gone that far yet. I've only watched 2 episodes. I've only gone to the part where they crash a plane. But I think their shit happens when you see them as adults. They're like hiding something. So that's the mystery. So you're wondering, what did they do? What did they do in the wilderness? They're hiding something when they're older. And you flash back to where they're in the forest, and you see what they get up to. And there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of guts. It's like a horror sort of themes and all that.
Wow.
There's drama and all that too. Supernatural stuff going on. And yeah, it's just out of a drama. I never knew about it 2 years ago, so I never really took a look at it. If you like that kind of stuff, it's one of those shows, eh?
We'll check that out.
So that's YELLOWJACKETS. They're up to season 3 at the moment. So yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about it too, on on social media. In it's always popping up on my feeds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and it's got Melanie Linsky in it. She's New Zealander.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so that's YELLOWJACKETS, and I've been watching Severance season 1 still. I'm up to episode 5. It's another one of those mystery box type TV series where, there's a lot of drama happening and a lot of mystery. You don't know what the meaning of these things are, but you just want to watch because you want to know what it is. It's a typical mystery box TV series. It's gonna get frustrating, but it hasn't been that frustrating because there's interesting stuff that happens, cool stuff that happens, and it's sci-fi as well. So it makes you wanna. It doesn't tell you a lot. It just goes with it, and you're trying to figure out what this is all about. But this is interesting. So,
cool.
So that's Severance. And what else have we been watching? I started Your Friends and Neighbours, which is the new John Hamm drama that's on Apple Plus.
Nice.
Yeah, I watched. It was late at night, so I started watching it, but I went to sleep like halfway through. But it was not because it was boring. It was only because it was late and I was tired. John Hamm, he's a star of it. He plays a corporate manager who loses his job, loses his wife, and he's divorced. He gets divorced because he lost his job. He's lost his wife, and that he's sort of losing his lifestyle. But because he's worked so hard through his career and he's lost everything, he wants to keep his lifestyle. So the only thing he can resort to is robbing houses. So he's gonna rob houses. I haven't seen him rob a house yet because I fell asleep. But it's one of those. Has a little mystery to it too, because at the beginning of the first episode of season 1, it shows him waking up on the floor, and it's nighttime, and beside him is a dead body, and he's lying in a pool of blood of the dead body, and he gets a shock, and he gets up and tries to escape the house, and then it says 5 months earlier, so it goes from there. So yeah, that's Your Friends and Neighbours on Apple TV Plus.
Man, your show sound like you're watching really good stuff, and I'm watching really shitty stuff.
But no, you've been watching some good stuff, man. You watched Black Mirror. So
yeah. Oh, that and 1923 is finale.
Yeah.
Highlights on my wiki. So,
now you have to convince me. You have to convince me about 1923, because I watched that first episode and I stopped watching it because it sucked, man. I thought as opposed to a mystery box, this one is like fucking hurry up, man.
Mystery.
Hurry up, man! Like I want to see is the son back at the farm yet?
He finally made it.
Oh, did he? Oh, well,
he finally made it back.
I think I'll watch it now because you have to convince me now if I should continue watching it.
I don't think you should. It's not that great of a program, but at least it's better than our counterpart, Yellowstone.
Oh yeah,
better than the OG Yellowstone TV series. I reckon the Alien's better than that.
Is it a lot of action?
The last episode, yes, there is.
Oh yeah,
there is a lot of action, but
I should watch it just for that, just to see the last episode, right?
Just to watch the last episode for the action. But other than that, the entire season's it's all right if you're into that slow grinding shit that you know what's gonna happen. But yeah, Yeah, shit. I mean, yeah, when I come to think of it, the only good thing was probably that and Black Mirror. Yeah, Black Mirror was next level.
Okay, I just want to warn everyone, we're going to do some spoilers now, and the spoilers on Black Mirror. So, yeah, man, I was waiting for Black Mirror to come on, back on. Season 7, we're up now. This is just quality TV, man. Black Mirror, if you're into the Black Mirror stuff, to me, I'm into like Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone was my favorite sort of anthology TV shows back in the days when I was a kid.
Bro,
Just scared the hell out of me. Yeah, and I love the stories.
Same.
I love the short thriller, horror, sci-fi. What if could happen?
Fuck.
That kind of stuff. And yeah, man, that was the best, man. And Black Mirror is a British version of Twilight Zone, but not as you know it, because instead of dealing with anything, it deals with technology. That's the main sort of gist of what Black Mirror is about. So you get all these Twilight Zone sort of stories to do with technology, and it's almost to do with the dark side of technology, where technology could take us in the future, and sometimes it might be for the worst for civilization. You know, like some of the stories that come out of there are really dark, and make you think about technology in a way where it could be the end of humankind, or change the way we live forever. You know, it's the what if of that. But while I'm saying that, there's also some feel good stories as well. There's some romantic kind of storylines coming through there. And I think this season, there's one or two.
Oh.
This season sort of has one of them, and we'll talk about it when we get up to there. That's the Paul Giamatti episode in season 7. But I think we'll talk about each of the season 7 episodes and each of the episodes of Channel 135 before we get into what we're going to talk about. So yeah, how are you liking the Black Mirror anthology series?
Bro, it's out the gate, man. It's just like the last season. It's a fucking mind twister. I don't know, he comes up with the stories, man, but they're engaging, and it's out there. It's like far out. It's really out there. But yeah, I love it. I love watching their program. Just some of the stuff that it brings up. It's like, well, really, that could happen, and I could see it happening too.
Yeah,
like there is that much greed in people, especially when we talk about this episode that we're going to talk about.
So that episode I'm talking about is the first episode in season 7, which is called Common People, right? Starring Chris O'Dowd, the Irish actor who plays a guy named Mike, who's a welder, and his wife or girlfriend, who's a teacher, Amanda, played by Rashida Jones. Sorry, man. And this was like, and this is one of those technology things that could happen, like, replacing like the medical technology, like the story is the school teacher, she has a brain tumor or something happened in her brain. She has to get surgery, and they have to remove part of her brain that's infected. I think it's a tumor, or something like that, man.
Yeah.
But
some kind of tumor.
Yeah. So they're gonna damage some of the brain. So what they do is they upload that part of the brain onto the cloud, and then when they take the tumor out, they replace that part of the brain with synthetic material, and then they can download that information back into her brain, right? So this is like, this could happen, man. This could happen in the future, like brain surgery and all that. It's a sensitive business out there. But the problem is that it's a subscription-based kind of deal where you've got they've downloaded your memories back into your brain, but on a subscription basis.
That's
right?
fucked up, bro.
And that's fucked up. So how do you feel about that, man?
When they came up, when she comes up with their proposition with the couple, and they're finally hearing it, and they go, "Oh, okay." So, but she has to stay within where the towers are. So, for example, it could be the 5G towers, right? If she gets out of range on it, then she turns off. So, like, she has to stay within that range. But if she wants to go out that range, she can get another update. And I was like, what the fuck? And the prices keeps on going up and up and up.
You
I was
know,
like, holy shit! I was like, fuck. But when I thought about it, yeah, this is out the gate, but it's possible. I was like, yeah,
well,
people would do that. They would subscribe to that kind of shit.
but it's out of it because there's like a warning on how much power you give to corporations, and
Fuck
if
yeah.
and there's a warning to all of us, like if corporations get power over this kind of technology and this kind of into medical kind of thing, like if you think of the pharmaceutical companies that control like the virus, the antiviruses and all that, the medicines and that, that can. It's like a similar thing to where what happened to COVID. Like these pharmaceutical companies made millions, billions of dollars off the human race, like selling their their vaccines and that, right? So, like this is another version of that. This is corporations taking over a a medical item or a medical event where they're in control of this cloud-based system where they even made it into a subscription thing, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, like it's the same thing.
Crazy.
It's the same thing what these pharmaceutical companies are doing, and I think this is just a lesson on giving corporations that much power. Amen.
Fuck, way too much.
Because like when you see the series, if you don't, you can subscribe to the first level, which is like a basic plan,
Yeah,
where you
like
can only stay in your own area.
it's like watching Netflix, right? But you only can watch the basic programs. And if you want the good shit, then you have to get the next subscription.
Because
like,
the worst
fuck.
thing is, she has to her brain gets taken over by ads, and she has to speak ads while she's living her life, man.
You could be hanging out with your fat friends, and then he goes, "Hey, try a diet plan at blah blah blah.com." I was like, "Fuck, what the fuck?"
Yeah,
Holy
that's out of
shit.
it, man.
I'm fucking buzzy, man.
So the family, the husband has to pay for the next level of subscription, the next tier of subscription to get her out of the ad talking thing.
Yeah.
And then she can travel, go around the whole country. But it's like too expensive. It's like $1,000 a month or something on top of their $800 a month plan.
But that little first hint in the beginning of the episode, I think, where the husband's going to work, right? And then the boss tells him to go check for one of the men that are not at work. He's taking a longer break. So he goes and finds this guy. He's in somewhere in the office taking his break, but he's watching some shit online where people do stuff for money. And I was like, oh no. So I remembered that scene because I knew they had to do something with the storyline. And then when they came to the subscription fees for the wife's cloud for her brain, I was like, oh no, they're gonna get in a situation where he's gonna have to try and find this money.
But then that was interesting too, because that delved into like OnlyFans, like the OnlyFans thing. Like you can do stupid that website there. You can do stupid stuff on the camera to get some money.
Yeah,
so that's how he was paying for it all, and that was the crack up at the end when he sold the funnies when it was a year later, and he sold the cot to those two teenagers, thinking that they're gonna use it for a new baby, and they said, "Nah, we're gonna use it for a music video. We're gonna burn it." I don't know what that meant, but he smiled and had no front tooth. His front tooth was gone, so he probably did the tooth thing, took out the tooth in front of the TV for some money. But it was a sad ending, because he kills his wife, because like at the end of the day, you can't live. You rather die than live like that, eh?
We're playing ads all night long. Fuck yeah! I would have tap out, man, straight away. We're calling ads all the time. Fuck.
Yeah, so
that's dark, bro. Super dark.
Yeah, that was a dark episode, but scary too. Because, like I said, man, you give corporations too much power, man. They can do all that shit. They don't care about your well-being, man. They just want to make money.
Yeah, they still are.
Yeah,
still are making money.
Sweetos, that's Black Mirror Common People. We'll do the next Black Mirror episode on the next time we do Channel 135. All right.
Sweet.
Now for what we're here for, Daredevil Born Again, episode 9, the finale. We're gonna do some spoilers now, so you know the drill, man. If you don't want to hear it, go watch it. Come back and listen to us talk some spoilers. We're gonna spoil the hell out of this show. Starting from now, episode 9, Straight to Hell. directed by Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson, written by Heather Belson and Dario Scarpani. A year and a half earlier, Vanessa asked Dex to kill Nelson, who was working on a case which could expose her activities in Red Hook in exchange for his old life. In the present, Dex escapes the ball and Murdock is hospitalized. Fisk cuts off the power to New York City and orders Cashman to kill Murdock, who escapes to his apartment fighting Castle. Both fight AVTF officers, including North, revealed as Ayala's murderer. The pair reunite with Page, who asks Castle to protect Murdock after learning of Dex's escape. Murdock and Page track down Nelson's case and discover that the Fisks are trying to establish a city-state in Red Hook. Castle fights the AVTF in Red Hook, but is defeated. Fisk's campaign director, Sheila Riviera, exposes Gallo's attempt to undermine Fisk, who brutally kills him. Fisk declares martial law, outlaws vigilantism, and imprisons Castle and other descendants in Red Hook. He offers Glenn the position of Red Health Commissioner, which he accepts. Murdock recruits Cherry, Kim, and other honest police officers to save the city. In a mid-credit scene, Castle tricks a prison guard and begins to break free. Shit, I didn't even see that part.
Did you?
No,
it just happened. I was about to turn it off, and then
it came on.
they're showing Castle again. So I watched it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great?
I missed that. I better watch it. So what happened?
He gets out. Castle gets out, so he's. Oh man, I don't know.
I was wondering about that because you know what he did in the Punisher TV series, the Netflix one. I think it was Jigsaw. He got himself caught, but it was his plan to get himself caught because he hid the key or a little steel tube thing in his skin.
Yeah,
so
that's
he can
right.
Break the handcuffs off. Well,
yeah,
that was his plan all along. So I was wondering if he can do the same because the way he walked into that warehouse, just casually walked in, thinking he's the man, getting beaten up.
He was the man.
Fuck. But he got wasted in at the end. He did kill some of them. I was wondering, you know what? I was wondering, man, can someone just shoot this guy in the head? All their shots, so they weren't supposed to kill him, eh?
Nah.
That's why,
I think they respected him too much, eh? They loved the guy. They loved him so much that they would rather die than kill him. I was like, holy shit, just shoot him in the head, man. But it was cracker when one of the main guys from the task force asked him if Frank wants to join them, mate. And Frank's like, what the fuck? You guys are nuts, man. More nuts than me. I was like, wow. I thought he was going to join them, but then he's just like, no, fuck you. I was like, darn. What a tough kid.
Yeah, that's my thinking. I thought that he was going to do the same thing that Planny did in the Netflix series. So when you watched that in mid-credit scene, what happened? Did he have anything hidden?
No, he tricked one of the guards to come closer and to shake his hand, and that's how he gets out. He gets the guy's arm and manhandles to do.
Oh,
so I think the guy might have had some keys on him.
Right.
So he's out.
So how'd you find this episode, man?
Bro, that was pretty heavy. Pretty out there. That was a good episode. Really good episode. You can see the difference in the last two episodes from the rest. I didn't expect to see Castle back again. But maybe with the switchover, they had a change of thought and thought, man, let's bring him back. Because I'm guessing Disney wasn't going to bring him back. Probably just for that one episode. But with the change with direction you were saying last time, they might have brought him back. Good change.
I'm surprised these last two episodes. I'm surprised at the level of violence in these two episodes. It's completely separate from the rest of the series, eh?
Yeah, way separate. The blood is like there's a lot of blood.
Yeah,
I don't know even if the blood is CGI'd, maybe there's like heaps of it.
Well, there's scenes with Frank Castle. You know, as soon as he shows up on the scene, that scene when they're in at Matt Murdock's apartment and they're getting attacked by the cops. I mean, that whole scene was in slow motion. It's funny, Daredevil was doing his thing, trying to beat up the cops, getting them out of commission, while Frank Castle, Punisher, is actually killing them.
The first cop he blasts around and like he's on the balcony somewhere, and they all looking the opposite direction. He blows that guy in the head with the pump action. I was like, fuck. The next guy, he shoots him in the face how many times, bro?
I think he puts his head down on the counter and shoots him through the counter.
Yeah.
His head.
It's like, bro, the first shot, he's already gone. You don't need to waste any more ammo.
So then it's revealed to us, the audience, that it's the black cop that kills White Tiger. He's the one that killed White Tiger. Yeah. So it's funny that scene when they have, I think it's Daredevil beats him up, but he's still able to kind of grab his gun, but Frank Castle throws a knife and stabs his hand through the wall there.
Yeah.
And then when Daredevil realizes that that's the guy that killed White Tiger, he has this moment of, should I kill him or should I not? He's mad, eh?
Yeah.
He's mad.
You never
and Punisher's egging him on.
Yeah.
Do it.
Because you remember that old conversation they had back in the old series where Punisher goes, you're just like me. You're just one day away from being me. And you can see like he's like really itching him on. Like, come on, Red. Do it.
Do it. But he won't do it.
No.
And then when you look at the other dude, goes, do it like this, and kills the other dude.
Yeah. That whole scene with them in the apartment, I love that scene. All of it. It was so cool. Even the time when they're talking like in the kitchen, and then Frank asks Red like, why'd you take the bullet for that guy? You should just let him have it. Oh, man, let's get bloody mad.
And then I thought there will be a moment where the black dude will be still alive or still conscious and pick up a gun to shoot Daredevil, and then that's when he gets killed. Because that's what usually happens, eh?
Yeah.
The do or die sort of thing.
He might be still alive because we don't see him, eh?
No, he blew up in the pony.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I reckon he's gone.
Yeah, I do too, but maybe. Fucking dick.
We don't see Bullseye in this episode. He's escaped, so he's out there on the loose. So wondering if he's gonna try his luck again to take out Vanessa. Is it Vanessa he wants to take out, or Kingpin, or both?
I think it's both. It looks like Kingpin's been playing him for a long time because of his mental health.
Yeah,
he's been pushing those buttons for ages by the looks of it, and I think Bullseye's had enough. He doesn't want to do that shit anymore.
It was interesting. Karen Page is back, and I sort of didn't appreciate her because there was this time when after all that happened, and Karen Page shows up in the car, and they take her back. They take them back to the Punisher's lair, and the Punisher's stitching himself up, and then they make plans to. They make plans to go find out what all the things about the court case that Foggy was going to win before he died. They're going to go back to the old office and look at all the files, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's that part then Karen turns to Frank, and Frank does want to go. Oh, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do. And Karen Page gives us that speech, and I was thinking, fuck, man. That's why I didn't like Karen Page, man. Like, don't do those 4-5 ones, bro. Yeah, it was typical her, eh? Like, doing that, and I was like, that's the thing that I didn't like about Karen Page, like sticking her nose and stuff. Like, like I know what she's trying to do,
yeah.
But man, I know, like the Punisher will just come if he wants to come,
Yep.
I just thought that was like unnecessary.
Yeah, I think as an audience, I think she's supposed to be like that. She's supposed to be annoying.
But she was like, "Oh, I know you care. And she turns around and goes,
"Bullshit."
Of course it does, but
say try, bro.
He's not gonna admit it.
Fuck off with Daredevil.
But how about you? How do you like her returning to the show?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny too, because you know how Matt wakes up in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
Carried. So I was thinking, oh, she must be coming back. Sure enough. I thought that was funny. I thought that was crack up too.
I thought that was the coldest point in the whole episode, man. How would you like it if your girlfriend, you're like in the hospital, you like almost died in your hospital, your girlfriend comes up to you and you're so out of it, you say your ex-girlfriend's name. And she got bummed out hard, eh? She got bummed out and she even looked at the other cop or his mate, Duffy. Hey, that's her name.
Yeah.
The other lawyer. And Duffy goes embarrassed too. Oh, nah, he's on drugs. It's the drugs.
Drugs just got him, man. Don't worry about it.
But then that sort of made Heather think, fuck, this can't. Like, that's why she shakes, she accepts Fisk's offer to be commissioner of mental health of New York City, eh?
Bro,
She's part of his team.
Yeah, she's a psychiatrist, right? She can't see like Fisk as a bad person. Apparently, like, come on, shit, see through that shit.
Well, that's the thing. She's only got Matt's word, right?
Yeah,
because she hasn't seen what Fisk is like. Because remember when they were arguing about it, she told Matt, "Wait, hang on, Bullseye was aiming his gun at them, at the mayor, as if the mayor's got nothing to do with it. Bullseye had something to do with it." And because she was having her arguments with Matt, I think Matt calling it Karen's name was the last straw for her. She's like, "Fuck this, Kent. I'm going to work. I don't believe anything you say. Like, if you got a beef with Fisk, it's not my problem. And if Fisk asked me to join for a job, man, I'm going to take it." Like, she's done that.
Yeah,
she's got that mentality.
Yeah, it looks like some of the characters, stretching out their legs in this episode too.
Like who?
Like Daniel. Daniel was like, he's really taking charge now, eh? He's really pushing it. I like that scene where he's talking to the rest of the council, and giving them Fisk's approach to the Safer Streets program. I was like, what the fuck?
So Fisk is actually Kingpin now. Kingpin, he's back being Kingpin, but instead this time he's Kingpin, Mayor of New York.
Yeah,
and that's what the police commissioner Gallo was saying. You're always being the Kingpin. Like, this is him in full flight. This is Kingpin, and like right now this episode, this is the opposite of what the discussion they had with Kingpin and Matt at the cafe.
Yeah,
when they made a promise to each other, I won't be Daredevil, you won't be Kingpin, and they've just busted that agreement off the thing, and now they're fully into what they are.
Yeah.
Right? Fisk is Kingpin, the mayor of New York. Matt is now Daredevil again.
Yeah, big time.
And it's just in time, because season 2, we're going to see the battle now. Now the lines have been drawn. The battles, the pieces are in place. The battle is about to begin.
And Fisk has more power now. So,
yes.
Yeah. We might see that comic book story. See Fisk rip Matt a new one from the inside out.
Man, do you think the scene when he busts the head of Gallo,
Bro,
that was realistic, eh?
Fuck, that was crazy, man.
Because if it was like Game of Thrones, when that big dude he busts the head of crushes the head of the other I forget their names, man.
Yeah, I forgot that guy's name too.
But you know the scene, eh? From Dawn.
Crushes the eyes.
He's from Dawn, eh?
Yeah.
The prince from Dawn. He crushes his head for his eyes. Like, that's cartoonish to me. That's cartoonish.
Yeah.
But this one, I think they wanted to be more realistic with crushing his head, because it doesn't really it does crush, but sort of slips. Like, his hands slip on the inside and outside, and sort of his jaw comes off, and the side of his head goes off the other side. And that's pretty much probably what would happen in real life.
Yeah, when my dad saw that scene, he was just like, "Oh," it was like kind of, "Shit, is it real?" And no, special effects, Dad, but it does look real. Eh? Like, holy shit, that guy crushed that man's head.
That is gruesome, and that is what Wilson Fisk would actually do in the comic books. He does that all the time in front of his soldiers, in front of people to intimidate as well. Yeah, but it's just crack up how like all the council people were there. Eh?
Yeah,
they were just looking shocked.
Like,
and that.
Holy shit!
So he's gonna rule with fear, that guy. But man, to put the city on martial law and everything like that seems too extreme. But I guess that's what it is. He wants the he wants the army. He's got to take down all the vigilantes and that. So
yeah, I was expecting something like, I don't know, Jessica Jones and them to pop out,
bro,
protect their city.
I was thinking the same thing when it's sort of like an anticlimax because we see Punisher gets caught, and then we see Daredevil and Karen look up from a distance, looking at where the men are, where all the bad guys are, like their base and that, a Red Hook.
Yeah.
And then, oh, cool, the finale is gonna come, and then they just we're gonna go and come back. We need the army. So Karen sort of convinces Matt that it's a bad idea for you to go by yourself, take everyone on one by one because you're injured now, you're shot. You need an army, and he agrees. And at that point, I was thinking, okay, here we go. We're gonna see the Defenders. We're gonna see Iron Fist. We're gonna see Jessica Jones, and we're gonna see Luke Cage, man. That's what I thought. And when I saw the bartender and Cherry, and I was like, what the hell?
I mean, it was a cool scene because it's like a beginning or something, right? It's like oh shit! Who's the guy that the Terminator's always trying to kill? What's the character's name? John something.
Oh, John Connor.
John Connor. It's like a John Connor, speech where he's trying to get his troops together. It's a bit like that, kind of. especially with the background music. It kind of made it more. But I was just like, what? What is Sherry gonna do?
Yeah.
I was like, what's that cop lady gonna do? They can't do shit. I was like, man. And you see some other cops there too as well, at the bar. And Josie herself. And I was like, oh man, these guys are gonna get wasted. But I think maybe the best is yet to come in season 2, hopefully.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, now we know all the cards are shown, right? Now we know what incentives the Fisks have now. Now they've got this place in the area called Red Hook where there's not going to be any rules, eh? There's no rules in that place because it's been neglected, right? So there's no
there's no law there.
Yeah, there's no law in that little space, so
they can claim that for their own, like they can make their piece, make it their own like country.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with their own rules and that, make them
right in the middle of New York City.
Yeah, that's right. So, and I guess that's their way to bring all the drugs in, bring all their contraband in, and make money from it. Because that's what he said to his wife, to Vanessa. He was like, "Oh, at the moment our business we smuggle millions. Now we're gonna smuggle billions."
She didn't even see that either, eh? Like the look on her face, she was like, "Oh shit!" Like, really? There was a surprise look. Like, did he had this thought up like way before, or when he was on the plane coming back home? So I was like, man, good idea.
Sheila, the campaign director, she's the one that knocked on Gallo.
She needs to get the fuck out.
I wonder what her arc is going to be. Is she going to redeem herself some way and turn and be friends with, on the inside, be the spy?
I already see one guy on the task force that's going to be a spy. You remember that dude that shot the kid? And when he was trying to steal a TV, and then the other cop comes along, he goes, "Oh, he's only a kid."
Yeah.
And the cop guy goes, No, he's a vigilante. He puts his beanie over his eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck, what a psycho. I think that young guy is going to be like, oh, nah, this is raw.
True,
He's going to be one of those characters they'll turn around. We got the White Tiger niece. She doesn't trust those guys either.
Well,
so I think
in the comic book, she becomes the new White Tiger. So I wonder if that's going to happen.
Yeah, probably.
Well, she looks too young. Because she'll have those amulets that give her the powers. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a pretty good episode there. I thought it was good. I thought these last 2 episodes were good. If these last 2 episodes were one, it'll make up for a good episode. It'll actually make up for the whole rest of the season. It pretty much takes the season to another level. Episode 8 and 9.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, eh? I was expecting, it'll be good. But I didn't expect it to be this good. When I was actually watching the previous episodes, I thought, oh no, the finale is going to be shit.
Well, we know that these last 2 episodes were the new episodes. That the last episode, the whole season's like chopped and screwed with the original script.
Yeah, you
which
could
finally
tell.
got Disney to say, "Hang on, we don't want this. Can we do something else?" and fired the people and put new people on. So the last two episodes of this season are actually new. So, and you can tell the big difference. There's a big
Yeah.
difference there. There's a big direction change. It feels
Way.
like it looks like a big direction change. The tone of it has changed. Like the last 8 and 9 look like the Netflix shows, similar to the
Yeah.
Netflix shows.
Even the characters look like they were playing their actual characters. Where in the other previous series they didn't look like even Matt didn't look like he was mostly Matt all the time. And yeah, he didn't really become the Daredevil until probably episode 7.
And this
Can't
thing I
remember now.
wanted to touch on, like the story arc of Matt Murdock here. Daredevil Born Again, right? So it looks like Daredevil was born again in the beginning as someone else, someone that doesn't want to don the Daredevil costume and wants to attack, wants to achieve his goals as Matt Murdock, as a lawyer, right? He's doing everything. He's got everything that Matt Murdock, the original Matt Murdock, didn't want. The Matt Murdock when Foggy was alive.
Yeah,
these are the things he didn't want.
Way.
He didn't want like a rich office. He didn't like to work in Manhattan. He didn't want to, like these kind of take these kind of cases. He wanted to be just back at Hell's Kitchen, a small office, dealing with the people, the people in the streets and that.
Yeah,
that's all he wanted to do. And he didn't do all that. Now, I think with Karen Page showing up and him back as Daredevil, I think you can see a little bit of Matt Murdock, what he used to be. Because he's probably not thinking about Heather at the moment, eh? Like Heather is Matt Murdock, corporate Matt Murdock. Okay, let me just separate these Matt Murdocks, right? You got Matt Murdock before Foggy, which is Matt Murdock. You got Matt Murdock post Foggy with Heather, which is corporate Matt,
yeah,
which is corporate Matt, right? Someone that he doesn't want to be, because that Matt Murdock, that corporate Matt Murdock, has Heather and doesn't want to be Daredevil. He's been pulled back into the old Matt Murdock to be Daredevil because of Kingpin, right? So now with Karen Page showing up, it completes his sort of personality as the old Matt, right? So the interaction he has with Karen when they're looking for the evidence in that room and they find the files, like they have that connection again, like they had back in the Netflix series, right?
Yeah.
So we're seeing the old Matt's back. The old Matt's back, and yeah.
That was funny that whole conversation was crack up.
So I think for me, like, I probably, if I knew this was the arc for Matt Murdock, if I knew it from the start, and I knew that it would take 7 episodes to get there, to get to where I wanted Matt Murdock to be. Like, to be honest, I didn't like that Matt Murdock, the corporate Matt Murdock. I didn't like the direction they were taking him, and I probably knew they were going to take him back to the old Matt Murdock, but I didn't know how. But yeah, I didn't like that Matt Murdock. I like him. Yeah. I like the way it is now, and this Matt Murdock is the one that we know.
Even Fisk, the other Fisk was a pussy, but this Fisk we got in the last 2 episodes, bro, he's the man. He's back to Kingpin, bro. Shit.
Well, I think in a different way, I think Kingpin was always going to be like that. I think all Kingpin is doing is just holding back that side of him because he thinks that being mayor, he has to. But now he doesn't give a fuck. He just killed the fucking.
Because he's mayor.
He just killed the commissioner in front of everyone, in front of the council people. So
fuck, that was funny. With the napkin or whatever he had. He goes, is there anything else? And everyone's like, nah. Like walking down. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, so I hope next season it's gonna be full on. Because I like the direction it's taken now, finally.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact I needed to wait eight episodes to get here. You know what I mean? Because I was like, because I remember when I talked about, man, this is not like the Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah, because like I think in the first couple of episodes it was mainly about Hell's Kitchen, but now it's about New York, trying to get the city back. So
and that's what Daredevil says, on take the city back. I need an army. So
yeah, there's a lot at risk here.
Mm.
Man, you know, one of the other scenes that I thought a camera might pop out was when Karen and Matt were at the Red Port and they were checking it out, and yeah, it stars in the background. I actually thought the Watcher might pop out. I was like looking at the background. I was like, man, those stars look mean.
Mm.
And they had this kind of city. I thought the Watcher might pop out with his one eye. I was like, oh shit! But no, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it, even on the second time I watched it.
Yeah, that was a good episode, and I hope that it's gonna continue that way. This tone, I love this tone. I love this Daredevil, and yeah, it brings us back to the old Netflix Daredevil, and I'm glad they've gone in that way. And for these last 2 episodes, and we look forward to season 2 because I think it's gonna be all like that. Every episode will be intense, like the last 2.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna introduce any of the Defenders back by any chance. I hope they do.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about this?
No, not until the next season.
Yeah, man.
Or something that's connected to Daredevil.
Yep. Okay, man. So we got tomorrow is gonna be The Last of Us episode 2, season 2. We'll be jamming about that, and then Wednesday, Andor season 2 starts. Wednesday.
Shit.
So we'll be coming back to jam on that as well. Hopefully, we can get someone else, some of the guys to jump on. Some Star Wars fans. If you're a Star Wars fan, you want to jump on with us, talk about it. Yep, just give us a message. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, well, we went from the skeleton crew for the last season, of Star Wars. Now we're getting to something a bit more serious.
Yep.
Of Endor, so it's a different pace.
Sure, Luz, thanks for jumping on like always.
Sweet man, thank you.
We'll see you here next time. We'll do it again for sure.
All good.
All right. Bye.
Laters.